Good afternoon, everyone. It's great to be here with you today. I really appreciate you coming. I know we're very busy in the House, and so to get away for an hour is difficult, but it's very important material we want to present to you. We've been doing these Clear Vision Connect sessions now. We first in the Pasavan Area Hospital about a week and a half ago. Then we were at Decatur Memorial for several days of sessions. This is our third day of sessions here at Memorial Medical Center, and then yet this week we go to both Lincoln and Taylorville as well. So we have some important information. As I said, Edgar Curtis, our CEO, President of the Health System, will be presenting along with Jay Rosehart, who's President now of our ambulatory group, to help you understand all that's going on in the health system. So let's get underway. I'm going to invite Ed to come to the stage. Ed?
Thanks, Chuck. Good afternoon, everyone. So a lot of changes going on in the health system over the past year, and so we've undertaken a refresh of our strategic plan. We worked really hard on it over the last 12 months, knowing that we're going to bring a new affiliate in Decatur, and thought it's time to refresh our strategy. We did that back in 2008, we did it again in 2013, and we just finished it. So we want to talk to you about the new strategic plan. We want to talk to you about the structure, organizational structure to support the plan, and how we're doing with our new affiliate just coming on board 4 weeks ago. In starting, I want to share this quote. I love this quote. When you think about it, the greatest danger in the times of turbulence is not really the turbulence, it's to act with yesterday's logic. Certainly this health system has never done that. We're never going to do it now. We're never going to do it in the future. But I think this is important for you to keep in mind as we have our conversation today. But a strategic plan starts with, why does your organization exist? Do you have a single purpose? Every organization has a single purpose. They may not know it, but they won't last long if they don't understand why they exist. And ours is very simple. It's to improve one's health for the people in the communities we serve. Now, some of you know I've been here 4 decades. I started as a nurse, and when I started at Memorial, pretty much we took care of sick people, and only sick people. You ramp forward to 4 decades, we're doing all this ambulatory care, we're out in the communities, and I spend a fair amount of my time thinking about social determinants of health. Do people have permanency of housing? Do they have a source of food? Because I can assure you, if they don't have permanency of those first 2 issues, they probably don't have a job. And if they don't have those first 3, I can assure you they're not too worried about their health care needs. They're not going to see a primary care provider. They're not going to worry about getting their medication, et cetera. And these things are important to improving one's overall health. So we're focused on that as well as taking care of sick people. But I think this is a pretty compelling mission, has been for 100+ years, and there's really no reason to change our single purpose. So that'll stay the same. But we've had a vision to be a national leader for excellence in patient care. We adopted this back in 2008, and it's held up well for the last 12 years. But now we've decided to modify that in our new strategic plan to be the health system people choose over all others. We want people to choose us. We want communities like Decatur, when they're looking for a partnership, to choose us. We certainly want our physician partners to choose our health system as where they want to work. How about payers, the Blue Crosses of the world, or employers like the county employees? School District 186 chose us, only us, to partnership with a health plan this past year. We need lots of people to choose our health system over all others. So that's the vision that we're going to move toward over time. Now, we've had values to guide our behavior. Very, very important that we have values in an organization. We had this service acronym. It's been here for a long time. I can guarantee you I can rattle this off. Service to humanity, excellence in performance. But it's a little clunky and it's not easy for all of us to remember all the time. And then we introduced performance excellence standards. So we're going to boil it down to 4 values. And I think these really hit on where we need to be. But I'm going to let Chuck come out and talk to you a little bit more depth about what are the we statements and what are we trying to accomplish with these values.
Thank you, Ed. As Ed said, our values are intended to guide our behavior, our individual behavior, our organizational, collective behavior. And so when we design these, they were really designed to flow in a certain cascade, a certain order of meaning. In addition, each one has some behavioral anchor statements that help us get the concept. So let's start with safety. Safety is first, just like in medicine, first do no harm. Safety is a proactive looking out. If you see a spill on the floor, you wipe it up so someone doesn't fall later, right, and maybe break a hip or hurt themselves. So you're always looking forward. So we put safety first. In addition, we want a strong culture of safety. That's people feeling free to speak up, to point out issues of safety without fear of reprisal, negative feedback, any form of censure or sanction. Really important, because you can't get to high performance in safety or quality without that kind of a culture. And we take action to create an environment of zero harm. 0 is a high bar, right? And yet we have units in this organization that have had no infections for many, many months in a row, no pressure ulcers for many, many months in a row. And when one occurs, you identify it, you address it, get back to 0. So that's what we want to be about. So safety's first. Second is integrity. Integrity is the way we relate with each other as colleagues, with patients and families that we attempt to serve, with vendors who may come into the organization. It is showing people respect and courtesy and compassion. It's behaving with honesty and an ethical approach. And it's also being accountable. This is really, really important. You know, when we mess up, we fess up. That's being part of having an integrity about you. And so we do take account for things that don't go right, and then we fix them. The third element is quality. Now, some of the clinicians, when we were developing this, said, I get safety first. But if our mission is to improve health, shouldn't quality be next? Improving a quality outcome? Here's why integrity is second. Let's say you call me and you need an outpatient MRI of your knee. And I keep you on hold for about 25 minutes, and when I finally answer, I'm rude to you. What are you going to do? I hope you hang up and go somewhere else. Okay, you ought to, because here's the deal. In this environment, there are other alternatives. And so if we don't treat people with integrity, with courtesy, with respect for who they are, guess what? They will never give us the opportunity to improve their outcome through quality. That's why integrity second, but then quality. We continually work to advance our knowledge and skills. We also see continuous improvement. That's the Lean Six Sigma idea, that process that's been so powerful on improving things, okay? Ongoing improvement. And then we reach out, we look outside ourselves to bring in the best evidence from around the country and to bring it right here. And then lastly is stewardship. I don't want our frontline clinicians and frontline staff worrying about the business side. That's my job. We have people to work on the business. On the other hand, you may be aware in doing your work that there are resources that are being wasted. You know, let's say you're in surgery and you open up trays for a case, 5 trays every time. Surgeon only ever uses 2 of them. And you say, some of these things are disposables. Once I've opened them, I got to throw them away. Or they're hard instruments. I have to reprocess them. Isn't that a waste? And it is. So if you could come forward and help us promote a better use of our resources, we can recapture those things and plow them back into staff, equipment, facilities, and that way have a better ability to serve our communities. Jay?
Thanks, Chuck. Good afternoon, everybody. So just like Ed and Chuck have talked to you a little bit about our mission, vision, and values, I want to tell you about the goals we're going to revamp just a little bit, tweak just a little bit to help us fulfill mission and achieve vision. But just like our values, we're putting those goals in order, right? On a very specific cadence. And you can see we've changed the language around a little bit, but we still have the 5 greats to describe the goals that our entire organization, that all of you are going to follow to help us achieve our vision and fulfill our mission. So let's start with great colleagues. Why do you think great colleagues is the first goal? Can we fulfill mission without all of you? Can we actually improve health if we don't have people working for us? Probably not. Be a little hard, right? So we have to have great colleagues. We've got to seek the best, develop them to be their best. We have to have all of you in order for us to achieve anything. That's why this is the #1 goal, why it's the first on the list, right? And you'll notice we're calling it colleagues, not employees, not team members, colleagues. Why? We want to be collegial. We want to work together. Increasingly, it's about working with volunteers, other partners, right? And that leads us to the second goal, great partners. This is not just great physicians, this is great partners in general. Partners expands beyond physicians, includes all providers, includes payers, it includes social service agencies. It includes many other partners. And so we have a goal around building partnerships that help us improve health. Once we have the colleagues, once we have the partners, it's about access. That's the third goal, right? Ways, times, locations people seek. Increasingly, that does not mean building more very expensive bricks and mortar buildings, right? Increasingly, it means the thing attached to your hip, it's the phone, right? Increasingly, it means the virtual access. So we're going to have to innovate and think differently about how we provide access in the changing ways, times, and locations that people seek for healthcare, right? And you'll see us talk a little bit more about that coming up later today. When we provide that access, when somebody chooses Memorial, we have to provide a great experience. You'll notice this does not say great patient experience anymore. Yes, GPE is going to remain a part of our great experience, but we have to provide an exceptional colleague experience. Got to provide an exceptional partner experience for everybody who chooses Memorial. That's the fourth goal. The last goal is great results. If we do the first 4 well, we should get the great results. The clinical, financial, and organizational outcomes in everything that we do. That's the bottom line. That's what it comes down to. So everybody in this room should be able to relate to the 5 goals, the 5 greats. We have measures of success that our health system has for each of these goals, that every affiliate has, every department has, every leader has, that tie back to help us drive success around these goals and to help us achieve our vision and fulfill our mission.
We have to put all this together. So we have a mission, It's why we exist. We have a vision, what we aspire to be over time. Remember, new, to be the health system people choose over all others. Anchored by values. We can't do it and not be true to our values. And I like the cascading of these values. And then 5 goals.